ഹലോ കേൾക്കാം.
കേൾക്കാം വൈഷ്ണവി.
മിസ് തുടങ്ങാനോ?
കണ്ണുചേട്ട കേൾക്കാവോ?
നിങ്ങൾ പ്രിൻസിപ്പലിനെ വിളിച്ചായിരുന്നോ? ടീച്ചർ വരൂ.
ഹലോ സിറി, കേൾക്കാം.
ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് ഡോക്ടർ.
ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ്.
ഹലോ കണ്ണുചേട്ട കേൾക്കാവോ?
കേൾക്കാം കേൾക്കാം.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ.
ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് ഡോക്ടർ. അഞ്ജലി,
യെസ് മിസ്.
നമുക്ക് തുടങ്ങിയാലോ? ഡോക്ടറിന്റെ സമയം ഒരുപാട് കളയുന്നത് ശരിയല്ലല്ലോ.
പ്രിൻസിപ്പലിനെ വിളിച്ചോ മിസ്?
ടീച്ചറിനെ വിളിച്ചിട്ട് പ്രിൻസിപ്പലിനെ വിളിച്ചിട്ട് എടുക്കുന്നില്ല. ടീച്ചർ നിങ്ങൾ വിളിച്ചിരുന്നോ?
വിളിച്ചില്ല മിസ്. മിസ് വിളിക്കുമെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു. വിളിക്കണോ?
ഞാനിപ്പോ വിളിച്ചിട്ട് ടീച്ചർ എടുക്കുന്നില്ല. കുഴപ്പമില്ല, നമുക്ക് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പതുക്കെ. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സമയം വെറുതെ മിസ്സാവില്ലേ?
ഓക്കെ ടീച്ചർ. വൈഷ്ണവി.
മിസ് തുടങ്ങട്ടെ എന്നാണ്. ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് ഓൾ. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ഇന്ന് മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സ് അസോസിയേഷൻ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന വെബിനാറിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവരെയും ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. നമുക്കറിയാം നമ്മുടെ ചുറ്റും നിന്ന് ഒരുപാട് പേര് കോവിഡ് ബാധിതരായിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഒരുപാട് പേര് അതിൽ നിന്ന് മുക്തി നേടുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ എങ്കിൽ കൂടി അവർക്ക് ഒരുപാട് ആരോഗ്യ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ പിന്നീട് ഉണ്ടാകുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിനെയൊക്കെ ആസ്പദമാക്കിയാണ് മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സ് അസോസിയേഷൻ എന്നിവിടെ ഒരു വെബിനാർ കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, based on post-COVID syndrome. Anjana, and we have with us our resource person, Kannan AS, presently working as a medical officer in Central University of Kerala. സോ നമ്മൾ ഒട്ടും വൈകിക്കാതെ തന്നെ വെബിനാർ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യാണ്. ആദ്യമായിട്ട് പ്രേയറിന് വേണ്ടി അഞ്ജലി ഇരിക്കുന്നു.
ഓം സഹനാവതു सह नौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनामस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। आचरण वैभाकारं मसृणनयनं मन्मगेहे प्रभुदम् स्नेहाधारं सरसवचनं कर्मयोगीन्द्रमुख्यं विद्यालं गणिनयदिनं पद्मनाभं सुदक्षं वन्दे विष्णुजनकितकरं भारते केसरीन्दम्। Thank you.
Thank you, Neil. Now I invite Jayashree ma'am, convener of the Mathematics Association, for the best speech. Welcome, ma'am.
വൈഷ്ണവി, ബഹുപ്പെട്ട പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ, നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ മുഖ്യാതിഥി ഡോക്ടർ കണ്ണൻ, മറ്റ് അധ്യാപകരെ, അനധ്യാപകരെ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കുട്ടിയെ, എല്ലാവർക്കും ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ്. നമുക്കിന്ന് ക്ലാസ് നയിക്കാനായി നമ്മുടെ കൂടെ ഉള്ളത് ഡോക്ടർ കണ്ണൻ AS. അദ്ദേഹം സെൻട്രൽ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. ഗവൺമെന്റ് മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജിൽ നിന്നും അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ MBBS ബിരുദം സമാപിച്ചതിനു ശേഷം ക്രിസ്ത്യൻ മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജ് വെല്ലൂർ നിന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേഷൻ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തു. ഇപ്പോൾ ഏകദേശം 6 വർഷമായി ആരോഗ്യ മേഖലയിൽ നമുക്ക് ധാരാളം ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ ഇപ്പോൾ കോവിഡ് പാൻഡമിക് ചെയ്തിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ക്ലാസ്സുകൾ ഒരുപാട് കിട്ടി. എങ്കിലും പോസ്റ്റ് കോവിഡിന് ശേഷം ഉള്ള പ്രശ്നങ്ങളെ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ ഇതുവരെ സാധിച്ചിട്ടില്ല. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ പ്രവൃത്തി പരിചയത്തിൽ അതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് ഇതുവരെ കണ്ടിട്ടുള്ള വിശദമായ വിവരങ്ങൾ കിട്ടും നമുക്ക് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാം. അപ്പോൾ അധിക സമയം നമുക്ക് പറയാനില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ അദ്ദേഹത്തെ ഈ ക്ലാസ് നയിക്കാനായി ചെയ്യുന്നു.
ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് മാഡം, കേൾക്കാവോ?
കേൾക്കാം ഡോക്ടർ.
Okay. Very good morning to all friends. First of all, I thank Dr. Ajmol PG, Principal in Charge, Jayashree S, Convener, Dr. Ranjini Devi S, QAC Coordinator, and my cousin Srirashmi, and all those who are in this Max Association of NS Training Kondalam for giving me and this opportunity to take a session about COVID-19 and the after effect of COVID, that is the post-COVID syndrome. Thank you. We start our session. ഈ സ്ലൈഡ്സ് കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ?
സർ കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്. സ്ലൈഡ്സ് വന്നിട്ടില്ല, ബട്ട് സ്ക്രീൻ പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത് കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്.
1 minute.
കാണാം ഡോക്ടർ.
ഇപ്പൊ കാണുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ അല്ലേ?
പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട് സർ.
Okay. First of all, the definition of COVID. I know you all know that the definition of COVID for the past years, you all have heard about this COVID-19. The disease is caused by a new coronavirus called SARS-CoV-2. WHO first learned this virus on 31st of December 2019, following a report of cluster of cases of viral pneumonia in the city of Wuhan. Then come to the incubation period of COVID-19. Means if we are exposed to a virus and the symptom first appears in our body, the time period between the exposure and the appearance of a symptom, it is called the incubation period. It is around 5 to 6 days, and it ranges from 2 to 4 days. There is some exceptions there, that the exceptional peoples are called the outliers, and 1% of patients having the symptoms appears on the very first day. Then total COVID-19 infected patients in the world is around 18.2 crores. In India, it is around 3.9 crores. In Kerala, it is around 29 lakhs. The total death worldwide is around 39.3 lakhs. In India, it is around 3.98 lakhs. And in Kerala, it is around 13,000. The most common symptoms of COVID-19 is fever, dry cough, fatigue. Fatigue means the weakness. Then other symptoms are loss of smell, taste, sore, shortness of breath, and diarrhea. Other associated symptoms are nasal congestion, conjunctivitis, headache, muscle pain. There are different types of skin rashes, nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, confusion, and there is some heaviness over the chest. Then come to the next. What are the high-risk patients? That is, we all know that the elderly people are aged more than 60 years, and the persons with heart diseases, kidney diseases, lung diseases like bronchial asthma, COPD, and other diseases like hypertension, diabetes mellitus, and chronic liver disease are belongs to the high-risk patients. Then also the immunocompromised patients, that are the HIV positive patients, those who are taking treatment for cancer, and also the obese persons also belongs to the high-risk group. Then what are clinical symptom? How we can clinically assess the symptom of the disease? That is hypoxia. It means the oxygen saturation is less than 94%. Why it is 94%? Because 95 to 100, it is considered as a normal. Below the our limit of the normal, that is below 95, that is considered as hypoxia. And tachycardia means the heart rate above 100 beats per minute. Then there is increased respiratory rate. There is altered sensorium and hypotension. Come to the laboratory values. There is the blood counts, high C-reactive protein, high D-dimers are the indicators the severity of the disease. Then come to the test of COVID-19. There are two types of tests. There is one is antigen test, one is antibody test. The commonly used antigen tests are RT-PCR test, TrueNat, and also the rapid antigen test. Then comes to the RT-PCR test. It is a test. The RT-PCR test detect the virus in the sample, and it amplifying the viral genetic material to a detectable level. And the specificity of the RT-PCR is 98%. And the one important drop is it take more time. That is around 6 to 7 hours is required to get a result. Then the other test is CB. You just familiar with the name? No need of deep knowledge. You just know these names: CBNet, then TrueNet. The TrueNet, CBNet, and all are RT-PCR tests. Then come to the rapid antigen test. This is the most commonly used rapid diagnostic test. So it is also known as the rapid diagnostic test. It detects the viral protein, that is the antigens. The drawback of this test is it is less accurate. That means the sensitivity is around 50 to 80%, but has high specificity. What is the difference between specificity and sensitivity? Specificity means if the test is positive, it means the 99% the person having COVID-19. But the sensitivity means if the antigen test is negative, it doesn't mean the person is COVID-19 free. There is 30% chance for COVID-19 positivity. That's the difference between specificity and sensitivity. Then other test is Feluda. It is also CAR test. As usual, the swab is taken from the nose and it separates the RNA particle. We all know that the COVID-19, the coronavirus is a RNA virus, and it is a in this we take a swab from the nose or throat and mix the viral particle into the Feluda. That means it is a viral buffer, and we put the swab into the viral buffer and separate the RNA and amplify it into DNA and then detect the protein. It is Cas9 protein in the COVID-19 virus, and using the CRISPR technology, it has more specificity and more sensitivity. It is recently developed a test for COVID-19 detection. Then comes to the antibody test. It is also known as serological test. It is not a diagnostic test. It's used for the surveillance purposes. Hello? All are audible?
Yes,
Hello?
doctor. Audible ആണ്, audible ആണ്, doctor.
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ അല്ലേ?
Yes, sir.
ഉണ്ട് സർ,
കേൾക്കാമോ?
കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട്.
ഓക്കെ, മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ അല്ലേ? ഹലോ?
ഉണ്ട് സർ.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. ആന്റിബോഡി ടെസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് വെച്ചാല് ഇത് നമ്മൾ അസുഖം ഉണ്ടോ എന്ന് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാനുള്ള ടെസ്റ്റ് അല്ല, അസുഖം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നോ എന്ന് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയുള്ള ടെസ്റ്റ് ആണ്. That's why it is used for surveillance. Then we mainly detect two antibodies in the blood, that IgM antibody and IgG antibody. The first antibody appears after the first week of infection is IgM, and later that is IgG. Then comes to the treatment for COVID-19. You all know that there is no specific treatment for COVID-19. We have only we can only supportive care and only the symptomatic management. Then vaccine. Come to the vaccination. Vaccine starts in India is on 16th of January 2021. There are 3 COVID-19 vaccines are available in India at present. They are Covaxin, Covishield, and Sputnik V. And the Covaxin is developed by Bharat Biotech in collaboration with ICMR and NIV Pune. It is an inactivated vaccine. The drawback of the vaccine is we only completed the phase 1 and phase 2 this vaccine. The phase 3 trial is going on. Instead of Covaxin, we give 2 doses. The gap the doses 28 to 42 days, and 0.5 ml of injection given over the delta region. The vaccine is keeping the temperature 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Currently in India, it is given above the 18 years. The vaccine has 80 to 95% efficacy. Then come to the second vaccine. As it is Covishield and it is manufactured as an Oxford University. At first, they manufactured when A is D122. Then and over to Institute of Pune. From there, they renamed it as Covishield. It is viral vector vaccine. First, what is this viral vaccine? It means a viral particle is a virus is isolated from monkeys, chimpanzee, and the virus particle, that's the spike protein present on the outer surface of COVID vaccine, is introduced into the adenovirus, and that is injected to humans. And, uh, and that is injected to humans, and after the injection you develop a body, and that fight against COVID-19 virus. The duration similar to COVID is also it is 0.5 ml injection arms. Between the two sin is 12 to 16 weeks. Initially, it was around 4 to 6 weeks. Then it 6 to 8 weeks. Why they increases the duration? Because the recent studies shows that as the duration increases, the antibody production is more increases. And also, the efficacy of the vaccine is 75 to 90%. Then Sputnik vaccine, it is not our vaccine, it is produced in Russia by the lab Gamaleya Research Institute of Epidemiology and Microbiology. And it is like Covishield vaccine, it is a viral vector vaccine. It also given us 2 doses. The time interval between the 2 doses is 21 days, and the efficacy is 90%. Then prevention, it is the most effective step to delay the COVID-19 infection until the vaccine is available to all of us or develop herd immunity. Then what are the preventive measures? The preventive measures include stay home and self-isolate. We follow our government orders and local government orders, and the government declared lockdown. We must stay inside our house, unnecessary travels, and also if we have any symptoms of COVID, we self-isolate ourselves and remain inside a room. It's not the sake for ourselves, it is also for our family members and also our neighbors and also for our villages, like that. Then clean our hand frequently. Use alcohol-based sanitizer. If the sanitizer is not, use soap and water. Anyway, clean hand frequently and wash your hands at least for 10 seconds. Then use a face mask. Now we are using double mask. It is to use an N95 mask. If it is not available, use a surgical mask and a cloth mask. Anyway, you should wear a face mask to prevent the infections. Then if sneezing or running nose, you cover your nose and mouth with the disposable tissues or towel. If tissue or towel is not available, you just flex the elbow while coughing or sneezing. Then avoid touching your eyes, nose, and don't touch your face, especially over the nose and eyes. Then maintain a minimum physical distance of 6 feet, that is 2 meters. Then stay away from the crowds and avoid poorly ventilated indoor spaces. it is better to stay home and open all the windows and make sure the room is properly ventilated. Then regularly clean or disinfect the frequently touched surface, especially the hand doors, the table you are using, and the table you are using for eating food, and you are studying, you are sitting, etc. Anyway, you regularly clean or disinfectant frequently touched surfaces. Then we'll go to some myths associated with the COVID-19. Is 4G or 5G mobile network spread the COVID-19? No, the 4G or 5G mobile network the COVID-19 is high temperature COVID-19 virus. No temperature not kill the COVID-19 virus. If you high temperature will occur. So don't practice this type of myths. The next is mosquito bite transmit COVID-19 infection. No, the mosquito bite never transmit COVID-19 infection. The mosquito will transmit diseases like dengue fever, malaria, etc. They are viral diseases. The malaria is not a viral disease, but the mosquito will transmit viral diseases like dengue fever and other diseases like malaria, etc. Is hand dryers are effective in killing coronavirus? No. Is UV radiation is used for disinfecting the skin? No, UV radiation is we used for disinfecting the surfaces. Then can regularly rinsing your nose with the sun help to prevent infection with coronavirus? No, the nasal drop like salina, it will remove the or it will relieve the congestion of your nose. It never kills the coronavirus. Eating garlic or ginger can prevent COVID-19. The answer is no. The garlic and ginger, it contains some immunomodulators that is good for immunity. If you are immune, the diseases like no other diseases will touch you. So healthy food and balance healthy food and take plenty of water, etc. for your good health. It doesn't prevent you COVID-19 directly. Is antibiotic is effective in treatment of COVID-19? Antibiotics are for the bacterial infection. It is antibiotics are never used is not used for diseases. So the in case of COVID-19 and all other viral diseases, there is more chance for secondary infections. The secondary infection will the antibiotic will prevent the secondary infection of COVID-19. Can coronavirus spread through food items? No, the coronavirus doesn't spread through food items. Can vitamins and zinc cure COVID-19? As I said, the vitamins and zinc are immunomodulators. They will boost your immunity and the immunity will protect you from COVID-19. Otherwise, the vitamins and zinc has no direct relation with preventing COVID-19. Recently, the government of India removed all these vitamins and zinc for treating COVID-19. Anyway, take vitamins and zinc. It helps your boosting your immunity. Then come to our topic, post-COVID syndrome. The incidence of post-COVID syndrome, that is കൊറോണയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം നമ്മളുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ആ ചേഞ്ചസ് പോസ്റ്റ് കോവിഡ് സിൻഡ്രോം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ദ ഇൻസിഡൻസ് ഓഫ് പോസ്റ്റ് കോവിഡ് സിൻഡ്രോം ഇസ് 10%. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് 100 പേർക്ക് കോവിഡ് വന്നാൽ 10 പേർക്ക് പോസ്റ്റ് കോവിഡ് സിൻഡ്രോം വരാം. സം സ്റ്റഡീസ് ഷോസ് ദാറ്റ് 60 to 70% develop at least any one of the symptoms of post-COVID syndrome. And also, as a part of post-COVID syndrome, the death may also occur. The most crucial time period after COVID infection is first 100 days of healing. So, you should You should beware of your health. Take healthy food, plenty of water, take sound sleep. I will come to that. Then, the fatigue or tiredness, it is the most common symptom. Fatigue or tiredness, the most common symptom of any viral infection, and also after the viral infection. How to overcome this? Take plenty of water, take balanced diet, take vitamins, avoid stress, uh, take a good sound sleep, quit tobacco, alcohol, and smoking, do regular exercise. Then, mental stress. The most of the patients or the persons presented after COVID is with mental stress. Also, during their infection, they are also having severe mental stress. The importance of mental health, it affect our cognitive, emotional, social, and physical well-being. Positive mental health enables people to reach their true potential, cope with the normal stress of life, our productivity, and these all contribute to their communities. That's the importance of mental health. How to overcome the mental stress? Get a sound sleep. Insufficient sleep creates stress. It is a cycle. The stress causes the lack of sleep again causes stress. So you should take a sound sleep. You take at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and you should sleep in a quiet, dark, ventilated room. Keep your regular schedule of sleep. Avoid alcohol or tobacco or caffeine intake or other stimulants before you are going to bed. Exercise regularly. Avoid watching TV or mobile before going to sleep. And also, then come to the second, get regular exercise. Some studies shows that people who exercise regularly have fewer mental health problem, and also they sound sleep. Then avoid alcohols and drug, because in any diseases, during any diseases, body is in a stressful condition. We take these also, these like the products like alcohol and other drugs, they they again leads to our body in other stressful condition. The stressful condition causes, it releases stress hormones inside our body. It will increase the things called cytokines. The cytokine which leads to injuries to our organs like a kidney, brain, heart, etc. This further leads to severe organ injury. So avoid alcohol, drugs, especially during COVID, and also the first 100 days of after COVID. Then you people take some practice meditation or find some time for listening good things. You heard your own favorite music. It will relax your mind. The peaceful mind, you get a good sleep that will ultimately leads to a good mental health. Then keep socially connected. It is the areas. We all have the digital medias, phones like a computer, laptop, etc. So we should find some time for our spend some time with our family and friends. And be open to share and listening. Be open to share our sorrows to our close friends, listening their sorrows and advise them, take advices from them. This also create a bonding between us. That bonding will to overcome our health uh, disease health issues. So keep socially connected. Be empathetic to those who assist you. Then learn new skills. If you are in quarantine or you are COVID positive, you got a lot of time. Then you boost your self confidence and self esteem instead of thinking unwanted things and creating mental issues. You should boost your self-confidence and self-esteem that promote a sense of purposes, which is positive emotions in the brain that promote overall well-being. It helps you to overcome all the stressful conditions. Then reduce the screen time and exposure to media. Excessive use of social media leads to stress, anxiety. Don't go before the Google doctors and the Google search. You should follow the advices from the health department or Kerala State Health Department of India through your nearby doctors or through nearby health inspectors like that. Don't go before the Google. Then you should eat a healthy diet. You all know that what balanced diet. It contains 40% of carbohydrate, 25% protein, and 10%. Sorry, it is 40% fruits, vegetables, 10%, 25% protein, 25% carbohydrate, and 10% fat. You should take a balanced diet. Then spend some time in outdoor, minimum 2 hours per a week. That means you should connect with your nature. You know what is happening around your happening outside your room or outside your home. You should spend some time with the outdoor. Also, if you find someone with mental health issues, that is the symptoms of mental health problems are anxiety, irritability, social withdrawal, intense fear, agitation behavior, lack of sleep. Encourage them to take steps towards building a positive mental health. That is important. Then you follow, if you find someone, you should follow the lives. What is lives? Listen the problems of your friends or your relatives. Inquire about what is the cause, what is the reason. Then validate, and you should support them. Enhanced safety means if somebody needs some medical support or the mental support from a psychologist or a psychiatrist, you should refer or you should accompany them to the nearby hospital and provide some consultation for your dear ones. And you should support them to overcome all the mental health problems. Come to the second post-COVID syndrome. It is headache. To overcome this, you should avoid your stress. If you have severe headache, you take some medicines. There is no curative treatment for the post-COVID syndrome. We have only given the support treatment. Then if you have breathing difficulty, the major cause of breathing difficulty after COVID is post-COVID pneumonia and pulmonary embolism. What is pulmonary embolism? In case of COVID-19, there is some clot occurs inside our blood vessels. It will block the minute blood vessels of our lungs and it will arrest the blood flow. That will cause us breathing difficulty and chest pain. If you have severe chest pain or breathing difficulty, that is a red sign. You should consult, or if some having this type of chest pain or breathing difficulty after COVID, you people refer them immediately to consult a doctor. To overcome the breathing difficulty, if you have minor breathing difficulty, you should sit right. You take a deep breath, and if somebody near to you having the breathing difficulty, you just cupping or just tap the chest of that person and help them to relieve the breathing difficulty. Then chest pain, I already mentioned. The loss of myalgia, rashes over the body. These are minor post-COVID effect. It will recover. You will recover in 3 months. This will cause us. There is much problem. So this is not a big thing after COVID. Anyway, you should notice these things. If you have loss of smell persisting for more than 3 months after COVID, you should consult a doctor. In some patients after post-COVID, there is their heart rate, the rhythm of their heart rate will changes. In medicine, they are called it as arrhythmias. And in some patients, there is some myocarditis occurs. That is, after COVID, the infection again occurs in the heart chambers or heart valves. It leads to infection of the surrounding the heart. That is called myocarditis. That is a very serious issue. The presenting symptoms of this disorder are syncope, chest pain, breathing difficulty. So these are severe issues. So you must consult a doctor and take treatment as early as possible. Also, the COVID causes elevated blood pressure and elevated blood sugar. Some persons are exclusively normal before the COVID. But he or she get COVID, the body is in a very stressful condition, and the stressful condition release the cytokines and hormones and other factors inside our body that will affect our blood vessels, pancreas, etc. That will leads to elevated blood pressure and elevated blood sugar, and the person become hypertensive or hypoglycemic after the COVID-19 infection. So it is very, very important. So if headache or you have weakness or you have some cloudness or your head, you should consult and you should check your BP and sugar level after COVID. Or if your dear ones are COVID-19 active in the past, COVID-19 positive in the past, you tell them that please check your blood profile, blood pressure and blood sugar within after 100 days or after 2 months of your infection. So it is very important. You should advise your dear ones. Then the post-COVID syndrome sometimes causes neurological disorder. That is, as I said earlier, the COVID infection causes there's some blood clots inside our blood vessels. The blood clots will block the minor arteries. If the clot block the artery, the blood flow to the area is arrested. That it will cause a stroke. The stroke is the weakness of one part of the body. Sometimes both the part of the body become weakened. Then brain fog means the clouding of consciousness. Means this type of headache or this type of stress will causes we can't lack of concentrate, lack of sleep, etc. This is all a cycle. Then comes the management, as I said earlier, and we all know that there is no treatment for COVID-19. Similarly, the post-COVID syndrome has no specific treatment. So we reassure our dear ones, then advise them to self-care. If we are COVID positive, don't be panic. We self-care ourselves. And if we can't manage ourselves, then any red signs like chest pain, breathing difficulty, seizure of fits, you should consult a health professional near your home. Then come to the new strains. The mutation is more common in all type of viruses. That is, what is mutation? Mutation means the change in the DNA or RNA sequence. There are 10 strains of COVID-19 is identified, but out of the 10, the 4 are more virulent or 4 are more significant. That 4 are called the variant of concern. We concerned about that 4 type because they are fast spreading. they causes increased virulence. Increased virulence means they cause more symptoms or more casualties in persons with COVID-19. And we all know that no vaccine is 100% efficient. If the variant of if the 4 variants causes COVID-19 infection, the vaccine effectiveness decreases than the normal. That's the variant of concern. The 4 variants are alpha, beta, gamma, delta. Now we are more infected with delta variant. There are 3 delta variant. That is B161.1, 2, and 3. B1617.2 is more common in India. Then other variants are epsilon, theta, eta, theta. That all are you should know the names, and you all are class. ഒരു 10 മിനിറ്റ് ക്ലാസ്സിലാ ഞാൻ വരാം. Sorry. There are 4 variants of interest. There are 4 variants of concern: alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. These 4 are more significant because these 4 cause more casualties. Among these 4, delta variant is seen in our country. Then delta virus. Normally, the COVID-19 virus infect 2 to 3%, but the delta virus infect 6 to 8%. That the infection rate is more than around 3 times more than normal COVID-19 virus. If the virus causes, if the virus affect 10%, 3 of them becomes complicated. That they requires ICU and ventilator admissions. So it is more virulent, and it has 40% more spreading. And normally the vaccine help to acquire herd immunity. It is 67%. It means if a person or a population in an area is affected with the normal COVID-19 virus, only 67% vaccinated to get the herd immunity over the region. But in case of Delta virus infection, we should vaccinate 83 to 85% to acquire that herd immunity. That means we should we will vaccinate more than 18%, 18% more to acquire herd immunity. Then come to the black fungus. We all are recently heard the term black fungus more frequently. It is also called mucormycosis. It mostly affects the nose, sinus, eyes, and brain. It is a normal of our nature. Why this become more important during these days? Because it affects the immunocompromised persons or the persons who has less immunity. The COVID-19, we all know that the lack of immunity causes the COVID-19 infection more frequently. And in case of person having a lack of immunity, we should they will go for some complications. Then we treat them with the life-saving drugs like steroids. The steroid is a double-edged sword because it will it can cure the disease, but it will lower our own immunity. So these type of normal fungus like mucor easily get inside, and they'll multiply our body, and that will block our blood vessels, and it will leads to necrosis of that region. The infection is not common in our eyes. It depends upon the location of the body infection. Sometimes it infects our nose or mouth, nose or eyes, the swelling occurs around the eyes. If it enters in the brain via blood vessels, the presenting symptom is severe headache, seizure, like that. Then it will enter into the blood vessel. It causes thrombosis. It results into the blockage of or the blood flow of that region. That will lead to the death of surrounding tissue. That is called necrosis. Why is this more common in COVID-19 infection? I already mentioned. Then the treatment mucormycosis is antifungals like amphotericin and also surgery. The cost of amphotericin B is much more, and also it is not commonly available. Anyway, the treatment of choice is amphotericin B and also surgery. Anyway, come to the end of our session. Stay safe and stay healthy. Then come to our discussion session. You can ask questions.
സർ വളരെ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സെഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു. കാരണം എല്ലാ വാക്സിനെ പറ്റി ഒരു ബ്രീഫ് ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ തന്നു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ ആഫ്റ്റർ എഫക്ട്സ്, ഇതിന് ശേഷം ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന മെന്റൽ ഫറ്റീഗ്, അങ്ങനത്തെ ഒരുപാട് ഇഷ്യൂസിനെ പറ്റി ഒരു ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ഡിസ്ക്രിപ്ഷൻ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് തന്നു. അതുപോലെ ഒരു പ്രിവെന്റീവ് മെഷർ ഒന്നും ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ പോലെയൊക്കെ ഓവർകം ചെയ്യും കുറച്ചൊക്കെ എന്നൊരു ഐഡിയ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ സെഷനിലൂടെ കിട്ടി. താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്. മറ്റാർക്കെങ്കിലും എന്തെങ്കിലും ക്ലാരിഫിക്കേഷൻസോ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഡൗട്ട്സോ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ സാറിനോട് ചോദിക്കാവുന്ന. സാറിന് ടൈം കുറവാണെന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം. സോ മേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ഫാസ്റ്റ്. എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പെട്ടെന്ന് തന്നെ ചോദിക്കുക. ഒരു ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും പറയാനുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പോലും പെട്ടെന്ന് ചെയ്തിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ. ആരും ഡൗട്ട്സോ ഫീഡ്ബാക്കോ ഒന്നും ഈ സെഷനെ പറ്റി പറയാനില്ലേ? എങ്കിൽ സാറിന് ടൈം ഇല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് ഡയറക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് വോട്ട് ഓഫ് താങ്ക്സിലേക്ക് പോവാണ്. താങ്ക്സിനായിട്ട് ശ്രീലക്ഷ്മി ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു.
വൈഷ്ണവി. ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ് ഓൾ. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ആദരണീയനായ ഡോക്ടർ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ അജ്മോൾ PG മാം, IKSC കോർഡിനേറ്റർ രഞ്ജിനി ദേവി, സ്വാഗതം ആശംസിച്ച ജയശ്രീ ടീച്ചർ, ബഹുമാന്യരായ അധ്യാപകരെ, പ്രിയ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, ഇന്ന് എന്നിൽ അർപ്പിച്ചിരിക്കുന്ന കർത്തവ്യം നന്ദി പറയുക എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ആദ്യം തന്നെ ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ച് ഈ വെബിനാർ അവതരിപ്പിച്ച ഡോക്ടർ കണ്ണന് നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. പോസ്റ്റ് കോവിഡ് സിൻഡ്രോമിനെ പറ്റി വ്യക്തമായ അറിവ് തന്നതിനും അതിലുപരി വിലപ്പെട്ട സമയം ഞങ്ങൾക്കായി ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. വ്യക്തിപരമായ ഒരുപാട് നന്ദിയുണ്ട്. ഔപചാരികമായി ഡോക്ടർ കണ്ണൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞെങ്കിലും എന്റെ ചേട്ടനാണ്. ഇതുപോലൊരു വെബിനാറിനെ പറ്റി ചോദിച്ചപ്പോൾ ഒരു മടിയും കൂടെ നോക്കി പറയുകയും കൂടാതെ എല്ലാവിധ സപ്പോർട്ടും ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി നന്ദി പറയുന്നു. അടുത്തതായി വെബിനാർ നടത്തുവാൻ മാർഗനിർദ്ദേശവും നൽകിയ പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഡോക്ടർ അജ്മോൾ മൈമിന് നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. അടുത്തതായി വെബിനാർ സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിന് മാർഗനിർദ്ദേശവും ഊർജവും പകർന്നുന്ന IKSC കോർഡിനേറ്റർ രഞ്ജിനി ദേവി മാമിനും ജയശ്രീ ടീച്ചർ ബഹുമാന്യരായ അധ്യാപകർക്കും നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. ലാസ്റ്റ് ബട്ട് ലീസ്റ്റ്, ഈ വെബിനാറിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത് വിലപ്പെട്ട സമയം ചെലവഴിച്ച എന്റെ പ്രിയ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളോടും എന്റെ മാത്സ് അസോസിയേഷൻ റിമൈൻഡേഴ്സിന്റെ പേരിലുള്ള നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. നന്ദി.
Okay, thank you.
താങ്ക് യു കവിത.
Thank you, Doctor.